scroll Zillow dreaming of your next flip, but did you know you could actually find great investment deals there? In this video, I'll show you how to use Zillow like a pro to find properties with flip potential, even in today's market. So, why Zillow works for finding flips? Zillow isn't just for home buyers, it's a free database of active listings and recent sales. Paul and I use it all the time to comp properties on auction homes that we buy across the country. So you could use Zillow to, identify undervalued properties, spot motivated sellers, and quickly track market trends and comp properties quickly. So this video will talk about step-by-step kind of how to search for flip opportunities in Zillow. First, you got to figure out what city you want to go into. So I have Zillow open here now, and we're in Levittown, PA. These are all properties for sale. Um, First filter, make sure, if you can't afford some, if you, one way to think about it is if like prices are really high in a certain area, but you don't want to pay too much, you could set filters essentially here. So if homes are selling fixed up into fives, maybe you adjust this to four, something, the way to filter it out. Next is beds and baths. Maybe you just want to flip 3+ bedrooms, so you would filter on that. Today, let's just assume we're going to filter or flip single family homes, so we'll hit houses. And then here is where you can play around with different things, right? So if you're an investor, everything's unfiltered here. So you could start off with like owner posted. These are your for sale by owners. And here you can only see there's two listings that are for sale by owner in the local area. So that's your first list, right, that you could contact. Next is you don't want to do new construction as an investor. Usually it's fixed up nicely. There's no value add opportunity there for you to flip. Next, for auctions, foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, again, this is like your second list, and these are properties that could be motivated. They're up for an auction or already on auction. It could be an REO property, which is a bank-owned property, or it's a property that's headed to sheriff's sale where the person's behind on their mortgage payments. There's some kind of motivation there. The bank wants to get rid of the property if it's an REO. It's a bad asset on their balance sheet essentially. And someone that's coming up to foreclosure, they're struggling financially to stay in the house. So it's an opportunity for them to get cashed out and move into something they could afford. So these are kind of like your second group of properties that you could go after. Now, the third group is the biggest. These are just probably agent listed, but how do you narrow down this list, right? It's a bunch of red dots all over the place. One way to do it is use certain keywords, right? The first one is a property might have the words TLC in there. That narrows it down to, a lot fewer properties to look at. Another one example here might be, special or handyman. Special is kind of a keyword that you could use, and only got one or two and that pop up here. And then there's other certain words are investor special. Type that one in if anything pops up, or there's as is, there's estate sale. Basically, use like a ChatGPT or Google and type in like what are some keywords for motivated sellers. You could try a few of those around and populate them down here in the keyword search for properties that are just listed by an agent. So to recap, right, you got three different type of main lists you could get on Zillow here. One is just for sale by owners. If it's listed by an agent, one way to narrow it down is to use keywords so you don't have to look at a bunch of red stuff. And then kind of like your foreclosure ones would be these right here: foreclosures, auctions, foreclosure, pre-foreclosure. So hopefully this video is helpful. If you got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Me and Paul are happy to answer them. Thanks, and